sure that like you know that you have a tendency to like go off script or like fill in the time or whatever it is. So if this is what we want to share with students about the expectation for how they're going to analyze an example essay, you have this slide in front of kids. What are kids doing?
I most likely might do a warm call or a cold call, and then have one student read the first bullet point, the other student read that one, and go through it. But I'm supposed to basically say, as we go through the notes, I want
Before you say it, you're gonna read these notes out loud. What are the kids doing?
Write the notes.
Where you put those bullet points?
In your Google Classroom worksheet.
Great, because that's what was missing today.
Okay, so
I'll
probably be like, okay, so in your Google Classroom, alright, so we're gonna go through to get some clarity on what are the expectations inside of a successful AP argumentative essay. Alright, so before we do that, I want all of you to have your Google Classroom worksheet open. We're gonna take notes in the section that says stamp on the top of page 3. Yes, it's on page 3. Then I'm like, are you ready? Alright, so could I have Mike tell me what should you do? What is the first thing what's the first effective thing you should do when completing your essay? After completing your essay?
I would just say like, what's step 1? And he'll say, read the essay out loud, right?
That's less wordy.
What's step 1?
Like
okay,
that.
so let me say, so here's what it should look like. Okay, friends, so what I'm going to do is together we're going to talk through the process. No, I'm losing my train of thought.
See?
What we're going to do is we're going to talk through the process of how to analyze an example essay. You're going to do that momentarily. Let's talk through the steps together. I'm going to call on volunteers to read the step, and then you're going to write the notes that are next to the bullet on your paper. Michael, what's step 1?
Okay.
Read your essay out loud. Great. In the bulleted portion you should be writing down, this will help you hear and identify any awkward phrasing. Jayla, what's step 2? Identify your thesis and claims. Yes, next we're going to underline these on the essay so they're easily identified.
Okay, I think you made it way easier. Okay, because the whole what's step 1, what's step 2 would have been less wordy and
so this is your direct
focused
instruction of what you're looking for them to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we're going to basically go into some notes right now. So I want all of you to look at your page 3 of your Google Classroom worksheet. And
you don't need the first part. Go into page 3 of Google Classroom.
Okay, try not to be wordy.
You're okay.
Alright guys, so we're going to go into page 3 on your Google Classroom worksheet, and we want to know what are some of the successful ways, we want to know the steps to analyze a sample AP essay. So, we're going to, as we read,
so,
bring
it back to the whole purpose, right? The whole purpose of this is they're analyzing an example essay, so their essay when they go in tomorrow is going to be strong.
Can I say it that way?
Yes.
Okay, because that might be a little bit more easier for me because I'm overthinking it.
But I think like this just shows like maybe the next outcome goal for us is that when you have each slide, like in the notes section, you write down like exactly what you're going to do and what you're going to say in a way that's feasible.
I read that, but that doesn't help you when I come into like thing. I feel like
type
I'm
what you want to say.
and
type what you want to say at least on the notes on this slide, and let's practice that. So if you get some time to write it, that might help you when it goes to actually saying it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
So remember what we talked about being succinct by saying step 1, step 2.
All right, so today we are trying to go over the steps we need to take to analyze a sample essay, an AP sample, analyze an AP sample essay.
So what do I need to do as a student? What do I need to do? So say like I will cold call on you guys to read each step. In the bulleted portion, write down what's on the board.
Okay, today we're going to go over the steps we need to analyze a AP sample essay. I will call on a couple of you to read
Each step.
each step. As your peer, as your classmate
You got this.
reads, as your classmate reads the bullet point, the step. As your classmate reads the step, as your classmate reads the step, I want you all to take notes on what are the steps to analyze a sample AP essay. Is that too much?
I would say the steps to analyze this sample APSA. And then I don't want you to do any like direct guidance after that, because after that you're gonna put them in groups where they're gonna go through those steps in that process. I think we'll need to really spell it out though on the worksheets, that way they know
Yeah.
what they have to do. Alright, so let's get, okay, so today we're gonna go with, as your classmate, I want you all to not take, what you would want to say is specifically, you want them to write the bulleted portion on their worksheet.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to, oh shoot. What did I do? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Say,
But this is the story for AP3.
great, so we got that.
Yay!
Yay.
Let me know.
That's ready.
Again.
You're like
I
ahead of
lost it,
schedule.
Like 6. Yeah, I wrote Tuesdays as well. I wrote
Nice.
it Tuesdays as well. That's why I'm losing everything. Where was it?
I think
Did we put it on the
I don't
paper?
know if I exited. Okay, there it is. Okay.
It's on the paper.
So as your classmate reads a step, I want you
The classroom reads the
to
stuff.
copy what's in the bulleted portion, because that's what they're doing on their
Yes.
on their Google Classroom document.
So you saying state the obvious is what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, because that's why. That's
I
why.
want you to take notes of what's on the
When I
board,
was
y'all.
in
This is
there,
important.
when I was in there yesterday, and you were going over thesis, they should have been taking notes, but
Yeah.
I was like, we have to say it. So
Okay. I mean, I thought it was like kind of like known, kind of common
so
sense,
that
kind
so
of.
you gotta be able to see like, hey, here's what I'm teaching, but also what's going on.
So I have
in
a
the
question
class.
for you. Like, when is it a thing that like when students are in college,
Yes.
you have an option to take notes or not take notes, but you're still responsible for the final work. Is it like I feel like the steps
You can grade their
situation.
participation that way.
Okay.
If you want to like grade their, I would make that their classwork grade. But yeah, in college, like sure, maybe it's optional to take notes, but if you don't take these notes, you're not gonna know.
Yeah, I mean
anything.
I feel like I don't know, like is it so between me and you thing? I feel like sometimes you're getting too baby. Like it's common sense if there's notes on the board, you're gonna take notes on it. If I wrote,
Sure.
I feel like sometimes I have to write in big letters. Here's
But
the notes.
remember,
yeah.
this isn't just about for the kids. This is for you.
Yeah.
Getting clarity on like what you want to happen and practicing your economy of language to make sure everything's aligned to the outcome. So think about this as like being for you to keep pace with like, here's what I'm doing, here's what the kids are doing, this is what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna ask them to do this, and then I'm gonna release them.
Okay.
Now I would say like
I just don't want it to be like a crutch thing where it's like
maybe we
if
feel like
they're not told,
maybe we
they're
feel
not
like we're
gonna do.
babying them, but like they're in AP and like they're not necessarily doing it.
Okay.
So we gotta make it known.
Okay.
So let's like wrap up here. Last thing I want you to do, give the directions one more time. Because this is like your direct instruction, like so let's go through what it would look like.
All right. So today we're gonna basically identify what are the steps that we need to take to write to analyze a sample AP essay. So I want you guys, as I call one of y'all to read, I want y'all to take notes on what the bullet points are saying in your Google Classroom worksheet.
Better. Okay. So step one, Michael.
I really do.